Oh my God! Let's start with the bombshell that's got everyone talking. Kevin Hunter, Wendy's ex-hubby, is out here trying to get 23 months of back payments for spousal support from our girl Wendy. I know, right? The audacity. But hold on to your wigs, because that's not even the craziest part. This man is actually proposing to have their divorce overturned. Can you believe it? Now, let's take a moment to remember why they got divorced in the first place. Kevin had a whole side chick and a baby while he was married to Wendy, and now he wants to be married again? Child, the nerve of this man. It sounds like someone's bank account is drier than the Sahara Desert, if you ask me. Let's break this tea down, shall we? Kevin recently filed some court documents that are making waves. He's asking the court to vacate and set aside the settlement agreement he made with Wendy. His reason? He's claiming there was fraud, misrepresentation, and misconduct involved. But here's where it gets really interesting. You know where Kevin got this brilliant idea that the court might actually listen to his motion? From Wendy's BFF, Regina Shell. I know, plot twist, right? See, Regina had submitted an affidavit to a New Jersey court, spilling some major tea about Wendy's finances. According to Regina, Wendy had a whopping $55 million in her Wells Fargo accounts back in 2022. That's more zeros than I can count on my fingers and toes, honey. But wait, there's more. Regina also dropped some bombshells about Wendy's guardian, Sabrina Morsey. Apparently, this Sabrina character was court-appointed and was a total stranger to Wendy before she took control of her life in 2022. Regina even went as far as to compare Wendy's situation to Britney Spears' conservatorship, saying it's even worse because at least Britney's family was involved. With Wendy, it's just this random woman calling the shots. Can you imagine? Regina spilled all the tea about how she was living with Wendy in July 2022 and saw her bank balance with her own two eyes. She even said that Wendy was thinking about switching banks and had a whole meeting with Bank of America in December 2022. Regina was there for the whole thing, watching these fancy bankers pitch their best products to Wendy. But here's where things get really weird. Just days after that meeting, Wendy's publicist claimed to have overheard a conversation between Wendy and her guardian. Apparently, Sabrina told Wendy there was no money in her account. Like, poof, $55 million gone just like that? Something smells fishy, and it's not last week's tuna sandwich. Regina's really worried about her friend. She thinks Wendy's being forced to keep quiet because, let's be real, when has Wendy Williams ever been quiet about anything? Regina said, and I quote, "I want people to know that Wendy is a real person and this is not some karma talking. Wendy's whole claim to fame is talking, and I don't think she would be this quiet unless she was forced to be quiet. She hasn't talked to Wendy, who she used to chat with 5 times a day, in over a year. Regina thinks Wendy's somewhere she can't reach a phone because if she could, you bet she'd be calling her bestie." Now let's circle back to Kevin. This man saw Regina's affidavit and thought, jackpot. He's using Regina's words to go after Wendy, claiming that $48 million was fraudulently hidden during their divorce. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Regina probably never imagined her words would be used like this. But Kevin's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Kevin's not stopping there, though. He was back in court the other day, demanding to see all of Wendy's financial records. He claims that back in December 2022, he went to a mediation with Wendy's team and her guardian. They promised to show him the bank records, but surprise, surprise, those records never materialized. Kevin kept reaching out, but it was like shouting into the void. No response. Finally, in February 2023, Wendy's team offered to let Kevin look at 2 months of bank statements. But get this, they said he could only look at them in the mediator's office. Kevin was not having it. He said that wasn't the deal. He wanted to see all the records from the day they got divorced until now. So what did Kevin do? He reopened their divorce case in court. According to Kev, the payments he was getting from their marital settlement agreement suddenly stopped in January 2022. That's when Wells Fargo locked Wendy out of her accounts and suggested a guardianship hearing. Kevin's argument is that it doesn't make sense for all that money to disappear in less than a year. Kevin thinks Wendy had enough money when they divorced to pay him one big lump sum. He's demanding to see all the financial records and wants the guardian to start paying his alimony again. But Wendy's guardian, Sabrina, fired back. She said the payments to Kevin were supposed to stop if Wendy's yearly income dropped below a certain amount. And since Wendy hadn't been hosting her show, she wasn't getting her full salary. But Kevin wasn't about to give up that easily. He went back to court again, saying he relies on that money for his living expenses. He even asked the court to make Wendy sign some documents about her retirement plan. The man man is persistent, I'll give him that. Now here's where it gets really wild. Kevin's questioning whether Sabrina even has the legal right to represent Wendy in court. He's saying that since Sabrina became Wendy's guardian 2 years after the divorce was finalized, her guardianship doesn't count in New Jersey. He's even asking the court to make Wendy show up in person. Can you believe the nerve? But honey, nothing seems to be working out for Kevin. He's back in court for what feels like the millionth time, now trying to get the whole divorce overturned. I mean, at this point, he might as well set up a cot in the courthouse. Wendy's guardian, Sabrina, is not having any of it. She's pushing back hard against Regina's claims and Kevin's assumptions about Wendy having millions. Sabrina's saying she can't address what Regina thinks she saw or heard. She's also saying that when they got divorced, Kevin knew exactly what was going on with the money and had professionals helping him understand everything. But here's the tea. If there's one thing people agree with Kevin on, it's that Sabrina can't be fully trusted. This woman's got her own drama going on, including a lawsuit where she's accused of robbing another client of $30 million. Some people are saying it's possible Sabrina might have stolen the money Kevin's looking for. Remember, Wendy's family has been saying they can't even contact her directly because of Sabrina. They don't know where she's being treated or what kind of treatment she's getting. Wendy's sister Wanda even said, the people who love her cannot see her. It's like Wendy's in some kind of isolation and Sabrina's the gatekeeper.
In terms of the contact that I've had, it's been limited. I finally got some sort of a response not too long ago, but that has been a big problem for the family in terms of just, can we get an update on how she's doing? And I say this honestly, and that is, we went through birthdays, we went through the holidays, we went through illness. You know, there was a period my grandfather was in the hospital. I shared this story with you yesterday. There was no way to contact her and let her know what was going on with her 93-year-old father. You know?
And isn't it true that the guardian didn't respond immediately when you reached out to get that information?
Wonder, you know, from just the humane perspective, how can you do that?
Now let's be real for a second. Overturning the divorce might not be such a bad idea if Kevin was doing it to help Wendy, but let's not kid ourselves. He's doing this for himself, not for Wendy. And let's think about this logically for a second. If Wendy did hide $48 million like Kevin's claiming, does he really think she's going to admit it now? He must be out of his mind if he thinks Wendy's going to hand over money she supposedly hid from him during the divorce. Now, I'm not saying Auntie Wendy plotted this whole thing and hid millions, but let's be honest, we all know she's more than capable of pulling off something like that. Our girl Wendy's always been sharp as a tack when it comes to business. So, what do you think, besties? Is Kevin right to want this divorce overturned? Is he just after Wendy's coins? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. You know I live for your hot takes. And remember, keep it locked right here for all the latest updates on this wild ride. You know we will be the first to spill the tea as soon as it's brewed. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay informed, and don't let anyone dim your shine. Bye.